The sweetness hit me before I even opened my eyes, thick, cloying, and suffocating. I was 3 years old, pinned against a silk cushion by a woman with a smile like a fake flower.
There's my precious girl. Eat up, eat up. Ladies don't need books. Round little cheeks are what make a girl beloved.
I blinked at her with wide, wet, utterly guileless eyes. Thank you, Mother. Inside, I was screaming. How did I end up here? My name is Amy. One moment I was drowning in a deadline at 2 in the morning. And the next, nothing. I woke up inside the very novel I had been reading. I am Xiao Nianwan now, the doomed daughter of Marquis Rongning. This woman is Lady Lu. Her plan is simple. Fatten me up and ruin my future. I let a clump of cake fall from my mouth in charming incompetence. More, Mama, more!
That's a good girl. Eat as much as you want.
Perfect. The dumber I seem, the safer she feels. She has no idea I've read every page of this book. I know every trap she will lay. I know every poisoned compliment she's going to deliver. And most importantly, I know the man she fears most is about to arrive. Heavy footsteps, the clank of armor, the hero returns. A voice cold enough to frost iron echoed through the hall.
Who gave you permission to feed her like that?
General Xiao Te, my father. A war hero who protects his children with ferocity. His eyes found me, sticky-faced and covered in crumbs. Something in his expression cracked open. Just enough.
This is how you take care of my daughter? Take this woman out, 30 strokes for overfeeding a child on restricted sweets.
My lord, I was only pleased.
There he is. Terrifying to the world, but a fortress for me. Game on, stepmother, I'm just getting started. From inside his arms, I felt the cold metal of his chest plate. Safe at last. I gave the retreating Lady Lu a discreet thumbs up. She couldn't see it, but I felt better. In the Grand Ning Mansion, having a protective father was only half the battle. My father, the great General Xiao Te, held me like I was made of fragile glass. But the other half of the battle was about to burst through that door. Xiao Heng, my 8-year-old brother, he had decided long ago that I was the enemy. To him, I was not a sister. I was a thief who stole his father's heart.
Why are you holding her, Father?
Father was unused to such blunt hostility from his own son. Then, Lady Liu appeared, her voice dripping with artificial sweetness.
Hanger, don't say such things. Nianwan is your sister.
Her eyes told a different story. It was a command I recognized instantly. He was a child trained to follow cues he did not fully understand. He produced a small wooden sword. It looked like a gift, but it was a trap.
Here, I made this for you.
The edges, they are so sharp. She wants me to bleed. She wants father to punish him, a brother estranged forever. I could see her plan. A cut, a cry, and a scheme perfectly executed. I won't let you win, Lady Lu. Not today. I reached out my small hand, letting it hover close to the sword. Oh, it is so scary. I did not touch it. I let gravity do the work for me. It split cleanly along the grain, a broken gift for a broken plan.
My sword, it is broken.
Fury and grief. The raw devastation of a child who lost his work. Father's hand was an immovable wall between us.
Son, stand back.
Children will be clumsy, my lord. It is only natural for a toy to break.
In the future, any toy given to a small child should be properly finished. No sharp edges. I trust you will see to it, Lady Lu.
Her smile did not falter, but her defeat was written in her tightened grip. Father took me away, but I looked back at my brother one last time. He is not my enemy. He is just a boy who has been lied to by a monster. I have all the time in the world to show him the truth. The real war has just begun, and I will be the one to end it. Lady Lu recovered from her first few failures with the resilience of someone who had never once considered the possibility of losing. She gave it a week, long enough for father to relax his guard, short enough that the silence didn't breed complacency. Then she struck at the place she calculated I was most vulnerable, public perception. Its hem was encrusted with pearls and polished gems that clinked together with every step like a chandelier in an earthquake. My hair was secured with golden hairpins so numerous and so heavy that my neck ached immediately.
You look beautiful, my precious. When our guests ask you what you've been learning, just tell them Mama says ladies don't need books. Proper girls focus on being pleasant. You want to make the Emperor proud, don't you?
Yes, Mama. The banquet hall was golden and warm, crowded with embroidered robes and the low rumble of important conversations. Father caught my eye the moment I entered, his gaze traveling over my ensemble with an expression of complex calculations.
Amy, come here.
I am mincing through the crowd in a gown that weighs approximately the same as a small horse.
This must be the second young miss of the Marquis Rongning household. What a charming child, and so splendidly dressed. Tell me, little one, have you begun your studies?
Minister Lee, you're too kind. Amy is still very young, and I've always believed girls shouldn't be overburdened with scholarship. She's a happy child. When the time comes, a good marriage will provide for her far better than any book.
A ripple of pity, amusement, and gentle contempt moved through the circle of assembled ladies.
Oh, but surely some education is necessary, even for a girl.
Girls need manners, not ambitions. Amy, isn't that right? Tell the minister what Mama always says.
I looked at the minister. Then I looked at Father, who was watching me with the focused stillness of a hawk. It was time to take a breath and change the game forever. Father says knowledge is the only thing no one can take from you. Father says a woman with learning can stand on her own feet and doesn't need to depend on luck to survive. Mother says something different. I wasn't sure whose advice to follow, so I asked Father to help me decide. Complete silence. Lady Liu stood very still, her smile frozen in place. Father's expression did not change, but something shifted in his eyes. A slow, warming recognition.
My daughter will begin formal studies next week. I have retained the finest scholar in the capital. Amy will learn literature, calligraphy, music, and strategy. It is my expectation that she will surpass every other young lady in this room by the time she is 10.
Remarkable. A father who values his daughter's mind. How refreshing.
Thank you, Father. Xiao Heng watched from the corner. For the first time, his expression held something besides hostility. He looked uncertain. That was enough. That was a beginning. The Imperial Hunting Festival was approaching, a grand event where reputations were made or broken. Lady Liu's scheme was layered: dress me in constricting clothes and ensure I was too sick to attend. The gown arrived first, narrow-sleeved crimson silk stiff as armor plate, with a collar so tight it would limit the blood flow to my head after 20 minutes in the sun.
Madam had it made especially, wanting second young miss to look her very best.
Thank you, it's lovely. Please tell Mother I am very grateful. I smiled, thanked her, and then took it off as soon as she left. The soup came at noon. Lady Liu herself carried it in, a bowl of rich chicken broth. It looked rich and golden, steaming with the solicitousness of someone who had been awake since dawn.
Hunting takes such energy, my precious. You must be fortified.
There, beneath the savory fat, something faintly chemical, wrong. Mama, my tummy hurts. Can I visit the washroom?
Of course, of course. Go ahead. I'll keep the soup warm for you.
I produced the cloth pouch of testing herbs Jiang Mama had prepared for me. The powder turned red immediately. Laxative, a hefty dose, too. Enough to keep me wretched for the entire hunt. How predictable, Lady Liu. I tucked the pouch away and returned wearing my most convincingly pale expression. Father arrived home 20 minutes later, still dusty from the military training grounds.
Amy, what's wrong? Why are you so pale?
Papa, the soup smells funny. My tummy already hurts a little. The room temperature dropped by several degrees as my father's anger flared.
Have this tested immediately. I want to know exactly what is in this bowl.
The household physician confirmed the presence of purgative herbs in high concentrations. Lady Liu's handmade spring peach was identified as the one who had prepared it.
How could you do this, Spring Peach, to our precious child?
The handmaid will receive 50 strokes and be expelled. As for you, Lady Liu, you will be confined to your courtyard. No visitors, no correspondence. You are accountable for everything that enters this house under your authority.
I'm fine, Papa, really, don't be sad.
You shouldn't have to be brave about things like this, my little Amy.
I have you. That means I don't have to be scared. I just have to be smart.
Yes, that's exactly right. We will face them together.
Lady Liu had used one lockpick for too long, but the lock had already changed. This was just the beginning. The hunt is coming, and I am ready. In this house, only the smartest survive, and I intend to win. The Imperial Palace was larger than I had ever imagined, a golden labyrinth of power and secrets. From 3 feet off the ground, everything looked considerably more intimidating. Jiang Mama dressed me in deep violet silk. No excessive jewelry, just simple braids, simple and dignified.
Madam sends this with her apologies. She feared your current outfit was insufficiently formal for the Emperor.
Lady Lu's final gambit arrived just before our departure. A gift that was actually a death sentence. A 5-clawed dragon. Only the imperial family could wear this. For me, it would be treason. Zhang Mama, please remove the lining. The outer fabric is beautiful. The rest can be burned. Lady Lu tried to destroy everything I had built, but her scheme ended here in a pile of ash. It was time to face the Emperor. This time I would not be playing by anyone else's rules. I held my father's hand. It was warm and rough from years of military training. A hand that felt like a fortress. We walked through corridors of polished stone where no one dared to breathe too loudly.
This is the young Miss of Wrongning?
Your Majesty, my daughter, Amy.
How old are you, child?
3, Your Majesty.
And do you attend to your studies?
Say you don't need books. Say ladies should only play.
I study every day, Your Majesty. I am learning the 3-character classic and calligraphy. My father has also been teaching me to identify the major battle formations from history. A brief, absolute silence. No one expected a 3-year-old to speak of battle formations.
Let us hear it then.
Men at their birth are naturally good. Their natures are much the same. Their habits become widely different. If foolishly there is no teaching, the nature will deteriorate. The right way in teaching is to attach importance to specialization.
Wrongning, your daughter makes you a credit. Such learning at such an age. I believe one of your servants was attempting to coach the child in an inappropriate response.
Autumn Chrysanthemum was removed with the efficiency of someone who had lost a bet they didn't understand.
Clever girls should receive clever gifts.
The Empress's gift was more than jewelry. It was a shield made of jade. On the way home, I pressed myself against my father's side. I could feel the steady rhythm of his breathing.
Amy, I am going to make sure nothing like this ever touches you again.
I know, I believe you, Father. The last light was turning the city to gold. I had survived the palace, and for the first time, I felt truly safe. The whispers reached the servants' quarters first, as they always do. They arrived in fragments, a comment here, a lowered voice there. By the time they coalesced, they had already spread to the entire capital. The second young Miss of Wrongning was a cursed child. Her birth killed her mother. On the day she was born, 3 horses died in the stables. She is a disaster spirit. I listen to the whispers seep through the walls. Something cold settles in my chest. Lady Lu, even confined, she found a way to poison my reputation. She arranged facts into a story. But a false story can be replaced with a true one. Xiao Heng came to my room before dinner, his jaw set tight, his eyes burning.
Those people are lying. Amy isn't a cursed child. I've been with her for months. Nothing bad has happened because of her. They are all wrong.
Something bad happened to your mother, brother. They say I caused it.
That's different. She did that herself. It has nothing to do with you.
Thank you, but we have to be careful. Arguing with rumors keeps them alive.
What do you mean? How else can we stop them from talking?
Zhang Mama has been collecting evidence. Payments they received, messages they carried. There are letters from my mother about things the Lu clan had been doing for years. My mother discovered their secrets. She never had the chance to tell father.
How long have you known? Why didn't you say anything before?
I wanted to wait until we had everything. Incomplete evidence gives them time to hide.
You're only 3 years old. How can you be this...
smart? I suppose it's in our bloodline, as father always says.
Father says our bloodline produces clever people. I suppose you got that too.
Here, brother, a piece of milk candy for our alliance.
Don't tell father I ate your candy. It's a secret between us.
Never. We are on the same side now, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we will show them the truth.
The counterattack was ready, and this time she wasn't fighting alone. Lady Lu, your ghost stories are about to end. I waited until the household had settled into evening quiet before I went to find father in his study. This pouch contains the weight of years of secrets and the only hope for justice. He was at his writing desk, looking more tired than I had ever seen him. The Lu clan's rumors had done their work. He had spent weeks managing the whispers of his colleagues. Papa, are you still busy? Zhang Mama has been keeping this for a while. She thought you should see it when the time was right. I think the time is right, Papa. He opened it slowly, his large hands trembling slightly as he unfolded the first letter. He read the records and the transcripts. I watched something shift behind his eyes. It was the careful processing of a military strategist reassembling a battlefield from its fragments. The silence lasted for nearly a minute. It felt like an eternity in the small room.
Your mother found these. It's not a question, is it?
Jiang Mama thinks she discovered what they were doing 2 years before she died. She kept the evidence, but she never had the chance to bring it forward.
She knew when she couldn't tell me. She was all alone in this.
She tried to keep you safe, Papa. She was waiting until she had enough proof to protect us all. I owe her an accounting that I can never fully give, but I can give it to you, Amy.
I'll present this to His Majesty in the morning. This ends now.
The Liu clan's fall was swift and total. The Emperor received the evidence with controlled fury. He had suspected a problem for years. Now he finally had the confirmation he needed. Corruption, bribery, fabricated testimonies. The full picture was finally laid out before the throne. They were stripped of their titles and sent into exile. Their assets were forfeited to the treasury. The network of gossipers found that no one was paying them anymore. The Whispers died for lack of fuel. Lady Lu received the news in her courtyard. I heard she raged until she had no audience left. The day after the verdict, the air felt lighter. We sat in the garden under the blooming trees. Jiang Mama made the real kind today. Properly sweetened, with nothing added that wasn't supposed to be there.
Is it really over? Everything?
The Liu clan is over. Lady Liu is still here for now, but she has no one left to help her.
Is that enough after everything she did to you?
Not yet, but it is enough for today. Hey, that was mine.
You were talking too much to eat it. My martial arts training requires extra energy.
It was, I decided, an excellent afternoon, the first of many to come. The Whispers reached the servants' quarters first, as they always do, arriving in fragments. A comment here, a lowered voice there. By the time they coalesced into sentences, they had already spread to neighboring households and the gossip networks of the tea houses. The second young Miss of Rongning was a cursed child. Her birth had killed her mother. She was a disaster spirit wearing a child's face. On the day she was born, 3 horses died in the stables. The family's current misfortunes were all her doing. The Lius arranged the facts into a story, the way you can arrange stones into different shapes depending on what you want people to believe. I sat in my room and listened to the whispers seep through the walls. Something cold and controlled settled into my chest. Lady Lu! Of course, she couldn't harm me physically anymore, so she went for something more poisonous. Reputation. Confined to her courtyard, she had still found a channel through loyal members of the Liu clan network. She arranged the stable fire and my mother's death into a poisonous narrative to destroy my future.
Those people are lying. Amy isn't a cursed child. I've been with her for months. Nothing bad has happened. I won't let them say those things about you. They know nothing about who you really are.
Something bad happened to your mother. That is what they are using against me.
That's different. She did that herself. It has nothing to do with you, Amy.
Thank you, but we have to be careful. If we argue with the rumors directly, it just keeps them alive. The best way to fight a false story is to replace it with a true one. We need a different truth.
What do you mean? How can we change what people are already saying?
Jiang Mama has been collecting things, evidence. The servants the Liu clan used to spread rumors left traces. Payments they received, messages they carried, and there's something else, letters from my mother. My mother discovered something about the Liu clan. She never had the chance to tell father before she died.
How long have you known? Why are you just showing me this now?
Long enough to be sure. If we show father incomplete evidence, Lady Lu's people will have time to hide the rest.
You're 3 years old. How can you be this smart? It's impossible.
I know. I suppose I just grew up a little faster than the other kids in the household.
Father always says our bloodline produces clever people. I suppose you got that from him too.
It was not exactly an apology, but it was as close to one as Xiaoheng knew how to get. Here, have some osmanthus cake. It's the sweetest one in the kitchen.
Don't tell father I ate your candy. I'm supposed to be practicing my archery.
Never. Our secret is safe with me, brother. We are in this together now. The rumors were still swirling outside, but inside these walls, a new alliance had been forged in the shadows. The Emperor, who had already been given substantial reasons to view Lady Lu unfavorably, granted the dissolution of the marriage with considerable promptness. The certificate was issued, and the formal declaration was made. The ties of a decade were severed in a single morning. Lady Lu's status was officially returned to civilian. Her title was revoked, and her past glory stripped away like dead leaves. Her access to the Rongning household was now permanently severed. The sanctuary she had once ruled was now her prison's exit. On the morning of her departure, the entire household was present. They came to witness the removal of an oppressive presence. Lady Lu came through the main gate wearing unadorned gray. No jewelry, no elaborate hairstyle, no face powder. It was the first time I had seen her without those things. She looked simultaneously older and somehow more real. The performance had been stripped away. What remained was a woman who had spent years building a position and lost it. She had only herself to blame, yet she was not quite able to stop blaming everyone else. Her eyes found me where I stood. Her look was not sadness, it was not regret, it was something concentrated and hard and not entirely sane. She is the look of someone who has told themselves the same lie so many times, they can no longer distinguish it from belief.
You did this.
She spoke with a quiet certainty, blaming a child for the collapse of her own house of cards. Father's hand tightened very slightly around mine. He was a shield of iron against her fading storm.
You were given every opportunity. You made your choices. This is the result. There is no one else to blame but yourself. Your own hands tore down these walls. See her to the city gate. Ensure she does not linger.
Lady Lu was escorted away. She did not look back. She walked as if she were already a ghost in her own home. She walked away from the power and the prestige, leaving behind nothing but the echoes of her own bitterness. The gate closed. The sound it made was very final, a heavy wooden thud of a chapter ending. That thud echoed in the silence of the courtyard, marking the permanent end of the Liu clan's shadow over us. The household stood in silence for a moment. For the first time, the air felt light, as if a great weight had been lifted. Xiao Heng had been standing like a soldier on guard. When the gate clicked, his shoulders finally dropped.
Good.
Zhang Mama made a small sound that she quickly suppressed. It was the sound of a woman who could finally sleep in peace. I felt something unknot in my chest, something I hadn't fully realized had been knotted until it released. The story, as I had read it, had been a tragedy. The original Nianwan would have broken under the weight of Lady Lu's malice. But I had the knowledge. I had father. And I had the fiercely loyal Xiao Heng. I have rewritten the ending. Papa?
What is it, my little girl?
Can we have osmanthus cake today? The kind Zhang Mama makes, the really sweet kind?
Yes, I think we can manage that. We have much to celebrate today.
She's going to request sweets for every major occasion for the rest of her life.
Probably. It seems to be her favorite way of marking a battlefield victory.
I'm standing right here, you know. I can hear everything you're saying.
We know.
I decided to take the osmanthus cake as a victory. The gate is closed, the nightmare is over, and the future is finally ours. The final challenge arrived, as final challenges often do, from a direction no one was watching. Lady Liu was gone. The Liu clan was in exile. The household had settled into a genuine, unpracticed peace. Father smiled more. Xiao Heng had stopped treating every meal as a potential battlefield assessment. Zhang Mama hummed while she worked. Then, a street disturbance. A traveling acrobatic troupe, performing in the capital market district, drawing crowds from every ward. Father had promised to take us. I had been looking forward to it with the uncomplicated enthusiasm of a child. Xiao Heng stood beside us with a studied lack of enthusiasm that fooled absolutely no one, since he kept craning his neck forward. I was perched on Father's shoulders to see over the assembled heads, the autumn sunlight warm on my back. The attack came from the left, in the middle of the fire-breathing performance. Black-clad figures, 6 of them moving fast, coordinated, the planned assault of people with a specific objective. I felt the shift in the crowd a second before I saw it, the intake of breath, the ripple of retreating bodies.
Heng, protect your sister.
Amy, behind me, don't you dare come near her.
He stood with an expression of complete focused concentration that, in another context, I would have found funny. Father engaged the nearest 3 attackers. The combat became something I couldn't fully follow, too fast, too experienced. It was the clash of professionals against someone who had spent 20 years fighting at the frontier. But there were 6 of them, and 2 of the attackers were circling around the edges, trying to get behind Father's guard. I looked around me, a vegetable stall abandoned by its fleeing owner, and then I saw it, a large bag of peanuts. I grabbed it with both hands. It wasn't the most dignified combat intervention, but I worked with what was available.
Amy, don't! What are you doing with those peanuts?
Peanuts thrown at close range into unprotected eyes are surprisingly effective, and the man reeled backward. The man's sword arm swung wide, which gave Father exactly the opening he needed. I threw the second fistful at the other flanker. It's not about the weapon, it's about the timing. I hit the nearest downed man over the head with the bag. It seemed impolite to let him recover while everyone else was occupied. The fight lasted 3 more minutes. When it was over, 5 attackers were down, and the leader was at Father's mercy. The leader turned out to be a distant cousin of the Liu clan, who had escaped the initial prosecution.
You actually threw peanuts at armed men? Who does that?
They were armed. I was not. I worked with what was available, brother.
In future, please remain behind your brother. The strategy was insane.
But the strategy was sound, Father, and more importantly, it worked. He held me carefully as though I were something much more valuable than one small child. The shadows of the past were finally fading into the light of a new evening. In this world, survival requires a bit of madness, a lot of wisdom, and occasionally a few handfuls of peanuts. The home was no longer a battlefield, but a fortress of the heart. The cousin's testimony sealed everything. Under questioning, he provided the remaining pieces of the picture. The networks the Liu clan had maintained even after their official dissolution. The individuals they'd bribed or threatened, the plans they'd made. The Emperor's investigators worked quickly, and the last threads of the Liu network were cut. In the aftermath, the Emperor made a decision that surprised the court. I was summoned to the palace with Father for a small private audience. Smaller and quieter than the birthday banquet, more deliberate. The Emperor received us in an inner reception hall.
This child has been involved in the exposure of 3 separate schemes of consequence, at 3 years of age, while nominally under threat. That is either exceptional luck or exceptional intelligence. I believe the latter.
Father looked like a man trying very hard not to appear too proud.
We are conferring on Amy Xiao the title of Princess of Anlei County. The associated lands, revenues, and privileges are documented in the attached edict. This title is yours. It does not belong to your father or your brother. It belongs to you, as long as you conduct yourself with integrity.
Your Majesty is too generous. I will do my best to be worthy of it.
I suspect that you will do considerably better than merely your best.
For a princess who fights with peanuts.
The story had reached the inner palace and was being enjoyed there. In the carriage home, I sat very quietly, holding the pendant and thinking.
Amy, you know you're still gonna have to study. The title doesn't change that.
I know, I'm actually quite good at studying.
You're terrible at memorizing poetry.
I'm good at most other things.
The Analects. Last week. 3rd section, you fell asleep on the book.
The book was warm. Silence. Then, quietly, Xiaoheng laughed. It was the first time I had heard him truly laugh, unguarded and genuine.
Go to sleep, County Princess.
Don't call me that. It sounds strange when you say it.
Amy, I'm glad you're my sister.
I know, I've always known. The carriage stopped at the gate, returning to the warmth of home. The night was peaceful, and for the first time the future felt truly bright.